Why would I change how God made me? I don't think I would change how God made me, but I think there was purpose there. To me, drag queen is an entertainer, someone who gets up and performs songs and lip syncs and entertainment and art and makeup. I think it's a fine term to describe me and my art and my hobby. But certain people prefer other terms that are more specific to exactly who they are and who they define as a drag king for a man, or a bio queen for a biological female who does drag. There's all sorts of terms, and they're always changing as far as what is the correct way to go by. But as an all-encompassing, I think drag is a good term, and I think all drag is valid, no matter what shape, size, gender you want to call it. For me personally, drag queen, I go by drag queen. I go by he, she, they, whatever. Just call me. As long as you're calling me, that's a good thing. And I'm getting into drag. I am usually playing music, getting into the zone, some bad bitch, some Nikki, something to make you feel like you are that bitch. And then I just usually go with it. I start with my eyes because I feel like that transforms you the most, that really takes you there. So I might put a little bass down, but then I start in with the black and getting the eyes and putting lashes on and adding some color and some sparkle, because then the rest just starts to fall into place. You see what lip color would look good with this eye, what hair, unless you're going, of course, with a certain theme, and then you'll base your entire process on the theme. There have been, of course, motivational influences and people that I look up to and enjoy following them along the way. Even my mother and my grandmother, my nanny, were all women that as a child I thought were glamorous. Just putting on their makeup and curling their hair was things that I always looked after and lusted after as a small child. I just thought that was such a fun and glamorous way of getting ready in the morning. Getting older, like Shania Twain was a huge love of mine. I love all things cheetah still because of Shania. And she was just like country, but super feminine and pop and rock at the same time. I love how she dipped into everything and she didn't have just one style. Kesha, Britney Spears, Beyonce, Katy Perry, all, influenced all the pop divas, I would say. I do definitely have an appreciation for going out in public dressed as a female. It takes guts, first of all. Not for everyone. Some people are more comfortable, but it definitely takes some type of nerve to change totally who you are on a normal daily basis and test the waters and see what kind of reaction you get or how that makes you feel. When I first did it, I felt a little instant light come on. It was something that I loved to do. I loved the interaction that it allowed me to have with people and the conversations that come up. I'm a very social person, but even when I'm out of drag, it's not the same type of social light that it is when you're someplace, especially a gay bar in drag. Going out shopping, buying women's clothes or makeup as a man definitely can make you feel uncomfortable, especially at first. It did for me. And still today, I might feel like uncomfortable picking up this sequins gown or this rhinestone bodysuit, but those are thoughts that are in my head. Nobody around me is paying attention, and if they are, they're not going to have the nerve to say something. And if they do, I dare them. I've never been verbally or physically anything accosted or touched, hurt in drag. I guess I've had someone yell gay out the window before, but it's not that's not an insult or anything. We just kind of like waved and, you're right, we're gay and we're proud, obviously. We're not trying to hide that fact. But I've never felt that way before in public. I've never felt that attacked or any danger. Definitely some unwanted stares and that type of thing, but never anything serious. I have never been cruised as a drag queen thinking that I was a biological woman. I'm 5'11" out of heels, so I'm 6'2", 6'4", in that range, big hair, big shoulders. So I don't hide well as a woman. But I've definitely gotten a lot of men dropping into my DMs on Facebook and Instagram, on the down low, or they claim to be straight, but like drag queens. But I usually just block them, honestly, because that's lame. There is definitely a lot of territorial, bitchy drag queens out there. I think it comes with, them feeling like they have their space and their show, and they want to protect what they have and their fans. But for me personally, I think I enjoy looking and experiencing all different kinds of drag, and it would be so boring for every single show to be a pageant drag show or an alternative drag show, or it's the difference that makes it fun and interesting. And those queens know that, and they just need to take a step out of their pride and look at it from the outside, and then just have fun together. Put on a show. Refine your art. Don't look at anybody else's. I would say I feel more empowered dressed in drag than I do dressed as myself on a normal basis. Like I said, I'm about 6'4" in heels, have fabulous sequin dress on. You turn a lot more heads walking into a room. It's something that just comes out inside of me, is just a more bubbly, loud, fun-loving personality. I'm a fun-loving type of person, but when you put on a wig and you put on some shoes, it amps it up about 5 times, 10 times. For my experience, it's more difficult living in the South as an openly gay man than it is in the North. It's not a hard life here because of that, but it's a piece in the back of your mind that someone might not like your short shorts, or that you're holding hands with your boyfriend, and they might have a weapon or be aggressive, or things might get out of hand. In the North, there's not so much that, or in New York City, that's where I lived for a little while. I didn't worry so much about that. Of course, there are other dangers out there, but people targeting me because of my sexual orientation was not something that I worried about. So with my family, I didn't have as much of a clean coming out. It was just kind of like, we know and we accept, and it was something that they knew all along as I grew. It wasn't like I had to. With friends, I would say there was a group of girls that I was close with back in my town that I grew up in, and they didn't know how to take it. Like I said, I grew up in a Christian school, so they kind of distanced themselves, and that I don't hold a grudge, of course. It's a long time ago, but they didn't know how to be a good friend for someone in my situation at that time, and that was the stars lining up and bringing the right people to me. I don't believe that me being a drag persona or having a personality, a drag character, has really affected any of the way my current friends or family has seen me, other than them wanting to know more, wanting to learn more, wanting to come to a show, wanting to see and get involved. I've really only experienced positive things, and that's who I'm sharing it with too. I'm sharing it with the people that I know are going to be comfortable and excited about it. If I had one message to share with everyone I come in contact with, it would be to learn to come from a place of love. I have that on a little card that I wrote hanging on right out my front door, so I see it every day as I'm leaving my house or opening my door. And I think that I saw it on a Red Table Talk with the Smiths, and it just spoke to me really profoundly. Like, every person has so much going on. They've got bad things going on in their lives. They've got good things going on in their life. They've got people who love them. If you just take a second and consider that before you react to someone in a way that you wouldn't be proud of, you'll treat people better around you. You'll enjoy life more because you're making more friends and you're coming from a place of love. I think that I was meant to do exactly what I am doing right now. Come up and tell the drag queens in your local bars that they look beautiful, appreciate them, tip them, because they are leading the celebration of your homosexuality if it's a drag show. So enjoy the art and play along.